Once I made it back to the cabin, I got to work planning on what I wanted my blood demon art to be. I began to wonder if there was someone who was trying to find a way to turn demons back into humans. Once I got stronger, I wanted to be a being looking for that person. I wanted to have the ability to sense illnesses, especially terminal illnesses. I wanted to be able to sense despair and against. I didn't want to call them victims. It would be too harsh. So, I began calling them clients. I would be performing a service, after all. I'd have an extreme amount of self-control, and considering I still retained my humanity, I felt that it shouldn't be a problem. My first blood demon art would be to scan the body, see the problem that lied within the human body. If it was deadly, they'd be eligible. Then I'd put a spell over them. If they were in pain, the world would ease. If they were blind, they would be able to see again. If they couldn't stand, they would be able to walk once more. For 30 minutes, they'd get this. This would be able to send it to their families. They'd get one last moment together before they calmly passed. And since they didn't take their own life, they would go to heaven peacefully. What more could a family want? No despair, no pain, and a lasting memory with their dying loved one. Then I'll eventually extract their blood. I won't eat their bodies. That would be extremely disrespectful. But thanks to my nursing background, I know how to speak with the families. I'd have to pursue them, that this was for the best. It might work on them, and it also might not, but I believe it's worth a try. And it would be of no momentarily cost to them. I sighed. I guess being a demon with these abilities are easy to form. The next night, I went out and hunted animals. It killed me to hurt these animals, but eventually, I gave them peace. I mainly caught fish and practiced my God's lullaby on them. Since fish couldn't live out of the water, it was a perfect time to practice. Once I perfected the ability, the fish would live 30 minutes above. I would sing the lullaby and even trigger the spell that slowed the heartbeat. Eventually, they began to fall into sleep, and soon later, pass away peacefully. I would eat the fish after they died, as so it would not waste Mother Nature's creation, and yet it didn't give me much energy. I would also catch bats. These bats I would trap, and I began to hunt them. First, I started with a simple stab at the bats about speech, which was an awful noise to listen to, but I would use my healing hands technique to save it and let it go. I did this until I was able to regenerate its entire wing. I sadly found out that I could not use this technique to bring back the dead or heal something that was internally turmoil. So I'd seek out these families and ask for one thing in return as pay: a syringe full of blood. I knew that what I was doing was unforgivable, especially in God's eyes. Yet, I had to survive, and the only way I could do that was if I played God. I promised myself that I wouldn't perform this on a human until I had it down perfectly, but I could tell it was starting to take its tolls on my energy levels. One night I came back from catching fish when I smelled the familiar smell of mischievousness. I had gotten good at picking up feelings through scents, and what I was training myself to do after all. And I knew the scent belonged to Doma. He must have come by to see if I was around, I thought to myself, as butterflies filled my stomach. as much as I'd expect to see him again. But it made me happy knowing he had come back to see me if I was in the cabin. It had been around 2 weeks since I last saw him, and I was giddy now that I knew he was wanting to see me again, although he would be disappointed to know that I was yet to eat another human, since the last he had gone and hunted one for me. It was time I did this for real. Alright, so let's explain some demon blood art for your sake. So I'm going to butcher some of these names, but Akira Lak. When it's active, your left eye, the black one, you can see bones, sort of like an x-ray vision. Your red eye works like a sonogram. It can see blood buildup, blood vessels, muscular tissues, and, well, of course, tissue. It can detect the problem in illnesses within a human. Healing hands. This ability can instantly heal human illnesses or problems, as long as they're not life-threatening. God's lullaby. Give a terminal ill human 30 minutes to live with mental clarifications and no pain before death. They will regain certain human aspects that they have lost. The ability to walk, hear, remember, and see will all come back to them during this time. They simply fall asleep after the time is up, and once they hear the lullaby, they'll never feel any pain, and soon after, they'll go to heaven peacefully. Heavenly flames. The way you dispose of the body after you have gotten enough blood to satisfy your hunger. Your demon flames quickly burn the body, encasing the ash in the ivory urn. This is done upon requesting from the family. By the way, these are all from the author, so I don't know if you can change it or not, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much. Bye! Mwah!